Some names become so legendary, it feels impossible to separate them from the person, as if they were destined from the beginning, as if the name itself created the legend. But sometimes, a famous name has nothing to do with fame at all. Sometimes its origins are hidden, buried in memory, war, and loyalty. This is the story behind one of the most recognizable names in sports history. A name spoken around the world. A name known by millions. But a name whose true origin began thousands of miles away from any stadium, venue, or spotlight. To understand the story, you have to go back to Vietnam. Late 1960s. The war was brutal, unpredictable, personal. Young American soldiers entered dense jungles where danger could emerge from anywhere. Among them was a U.S. Army officer serving with the Green Berets. Elite special forces. Highly trained, highly disciplined. Top-tier operators. Men expected to operate under pressure where mistakes often meant death. In that environment, trust became more valuable than rank. And during his deployment, that officer formed a close friendship with a South Vietnamese soldier. The kind of friendship forged only in war. Shared danger, shared fear, shared survival. And there were moments when that friendship became the difference between coming home and not coming home. The two depended on each other. On more than one occasion, the South Vietnamese soldier reportedly warned him of danger ahead. A suspicious movement, a feeling something wasn't right, a warning to stay alert. In Vietnam, those instincts mattered. A few seconds of warning could save lives. And according to later accounts, they did. War creates bonds that ordinary life rarely can. Because when someone helps keep you alive, you never truly forget them. Somewhere along the way, a promise was made among friends. The American officer said, "If I ever got out of Vietnam alive, I'll name a son after you." Years later, the war ended. The American officer returned home carrying memories most people around him could never fully understand. Memories of fear, brotherhood, loss, and gratitude. Then, in 1975, his son was born. The child was given a formal name carefully created from his parents' names. But almost immediately, the father began calling the boy something else. Not a shortened version of his real name. Not a family tradition. Something entirely different. A name from another time, another place, another life. At the time, nobody could have known what that little boy would become. There was no fame yet, no championships, no crowds, no history. Just a father, quietly honoring someone he respected deeply. Someone who had stood beside him during the most dangerous period of his life. Someone he believed had helped bring him home alive. As the boy grew older, something unusual became obvious. Focus, discipline, intensity. By the age of 2, he was already showing extraordinary promise. By 3, he was appearing on television. And the nickname stayed with him. At first among family, then friends, then the public. As the years passed, the young man transformed into something extraordinary. Precise, fearless, relentlessly competitive. He didn't simply win competitions. He changed the sport itself. Television ratings exploded. Crowds followed him everywhere. Entire generations began to love the game because of him. And eventually, that nickname became one of the most recognizable names on earth. But behind the fame, behind the championships, behind the legend, was a quiet story almost nobody knew. A story about war, about friendship, about survival, and about a man who never forgot someone who had once watched over him in the jungles of Vietnam. The South Vietnamese soldier was respected and admired by his men, so they gave him a nickname because of the way he fought. They described his combat skill as one stealthily walking through the jungle with such ferocity, courage, and skill, he reminded them of a tiger. And the American officer who carried that memory home was U.S. Army Captain Earl Woods. The little boy he gave that nickname to, well, you probably know him as Tiger Woods. Golf extraordinaire,